And gentlemen, this is the 15th episode of Concerned Dabs podcast. I'm your host, Katie M. Kane. With me is my co host, Will Turp.
Oh shit, it's already the 15th episode.
Yes,
What's up,
sir.
y'all?
Yes, sir. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, our special guest this evening is Moss the Beast from Beast Mode Music Group. He is an official rapper out of the Phoenix area. He's also hosting some cannabis events. What's good, Moss? Can you hear us?
What's happening? Yes, I can hear you.
All right, dude. I don't want to I don't want to do too much of your intro because you're you, and I want to hear you introduce yourself, dude. Like like you're Phoenix area now. We'll ask you questions, bro, but I want to hear you say who you are and where you're.
Yeah, I'm Moss the Beast from Chicago and Nashville, aka Cashville. Uh, been in Phoenix for about 5 years, and I do my thing on the mic. Period. Whether it's events, hosting, spitting on albums and singles and features and all of that stuff. I also manage producers, throw events. So in the
Word.
flesh.
No doubt, no doubt. That's what I guess I'll go into that. That's how I met you. I moved to Phoenix 2018. I got my medical card immediately and then started following folks on IG from down here cuz I didn't have any AZ friends on there yet, and then I think it was called Private Sector was that one. And
Yeah.
it was like message your card and your ID and we'll send you an invite, and then they give you the location the day before. It's on some rave type shit, like super secret, and then you get the ticket and the address, and then you go. Like, I didn't know what to expect because I've been to farmers markets before in Oregon and Washington, and um they were open like every day, and there wasn't entertainment every day. They just have a playlist on Spotify playing or something. But when I went to this one, holy shit, it was cracking, dude. There was dude, thousands of people. I want to say between 2 and 5,000. Like the building was full. There was like 40 or 50 tables of vendors. And then I saw you on the stage, dude. You were emceeing, and I was like, damn, this is tight. Everybody was smoking. There was a DJ playing the whole time. There was multiple artists performing, a few songs on each set. Um, Various genres too. There was this one little Latina girl, dude. I can't remember her name, but she was dope too. She like
Yeah, I think I
her
know you're
songs were
talking about.
ill. I think it starts with a D. It starts with a D. Like
Yeah, I forgot her name. It's
that,
D
that that
something.
sounds way more live than anything that we do in Oregon. Like,
dude,
at least any
dude,
farmers market we've had. I don't even know if we've had.
dude, serious. I was impressed, and so like I kept going back to it, and then I started working with a guy at a table. So I ended up meeting Ma, shaking hands, asking about the music and stuff, and there was a couple of other artists too. What was his name, man? Mr. U? Was that his name? Mr.
Mr.
W?
W.
Dude, that guy was tight, bro.
Yeah.
He did that one. It was like something for the camera went and
Yeah, do it for the camera.
dude, that song was ill. I keep looking for it on his
I
SoundCloud or on
think it's
Spotify.
out. I think it's out by now. It's
He
on
put it out now.
SoundCloud.
Dude,
Yeah.
I'm gonna check it out. Cause dude, that song was tight. I wanna play that shit when I DJ,
Yeah,
man.
that's one of my homies I met downtown. Just chilling and smoking, having little house parties and shit with my roommates.
No doubt. Yeah, he was dope. So how did you I guess first how did you land in Phoenix, man? Cause I
Man,
cause I bounced around too, you know what I mean? But I like it here, you know what I mean?
I always liked the West Coast. Like when I visited, being from Chicago and Nashville. So when I was living in Nashville, I visited Arizona a couple times. My mother stays out. So just coming to see her and shit, realizing I could go outside in shorts on Christmas Eve and shit. It's kind of
Yeah.
like life changing. Like, man, I can
Hell
really
yeah.
live this life. I like this shit, smoking
Dude,
under palm trees and
yeah.
LA not far, Vegas not far, and I have no reason to really be in the Midwest or the South, so it made sense to come this way.
No doubt. Good call, bro. Good call.
Like,
Hell yeah.
So, how did you get started in hosting the cannabis events? Did you MC like other talent shows or anything before that?
Yeah. I used to do a show called Independence Night in Nashville at a club called LAX. And the owners ended up being like the biggest club owners in the city. They just had Limelight. So they just believed in my music. I hosted my own shows for other independent artists, and I would bring in, some of my famous people for them
Y-
to get judged by and, meet and network with.
Very
So
cool. Tight,
yeah,
man.
so I did it. I started that way, but I really got into the weed festival stuff like when I started going to LA. I did
Ah,
the first Kush stop. The
dope.
first Kush stop. Wasn't nobody famous there yet. It was me and a lot of other independent artists. And there was
Yeah.
about 5,000 people there. So
Damn.
I
Damn.
did the second and third Kush stop, and that's when they went big as hell, like 30,000 people. I opened up for Two Chains and Juicy J. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Dope,
Hell yeah.
bro.
and I was like on a whole nother area. But it's still, I had 5,000 people on the inside where the AC was at, where I performed. Two Chains was outside. I was on the inside. It was dope as fuck.
Dude, yeah, man. Mad exposure to people who really dig the music too, you know.
Yes, and that got like interest, with the weed going on with the shit too. So I started catering my music more to this crowd as well, being that I'm in Phoenix, being that I'm on the West Coast, and I already was on that wave in Nashville. I was the guy that could get some Cali weed in Nashville, so
Yeah,
it all worked out coming out this way.
tight, man.
That's awesome. Hell yeah.
Didn't you also sign to a label out there when you were in California?
Yeah, DTLA Records. It's funny because the CEO was just a fan of mine on SoundCloud. You mentioned SoundCloud earlier. I got like 1 million plays on SoundCloud. Like I got a little underground fame from that shit. So
Goddamn, Moss, goddamn.
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
that's
A
how a lot
million
of people found
million
me. A
plays.
lot of
That's a fucking lot.
Yeah, yeah, that's a
and
lot.
when I
I
got the
cannot claim it.
millionth play, I knew it was coming. I put a song out called Million Plays. So it could be the song that got the millionth play. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
that's tight, bro.
Oh yeah.
I
Super
kind of
dope.
like retired from SoundCloud with that song and shit. But the dude was a fan on SoundCloud, leaving messages like "I like your shit." Then one day he was like, "I'm gonna do some music of my own, and I want to see how much you charge me for a feature." I told him a few $100s. He sent the shit right away. So I did the song quick as hell. He
Yeah,
sent it back. He sent the other half. I'm like, damn, this motherfucker got some money. He paying fast.
yeah,
So he was like, how much you charge me to get in the video? I'm like, same amount as the feature for the verse. He like, cool. Sent the money quick. He used my video director that I suggested. So I got one of my homies paid. We went to LA. He got a damn condo in downtown LA and shit. And he like, what you want to do with your music? And we just get to chopping it up. And I came back and wrote out a business proposition to him for the contract. And we negotiated for a couple months and I got a deal.
dope, bro.
Heck yeah.
Hell yeah, man. That's
Yeah,
tight, dude. Are
it's
you
a
still
blessing,
on the
man.
are you still on that label? Like is the Belly of the Beast album, was that on
Yeah, Belly is from the DTLA Records. I'm about to put out my last project with them sometime before the end of this year. LeBron
okay.
Jordan Kobe 2 is going to be the last project with the label. I'm going to try to go into the executive side with the label after my deal is up and just be like the president of the label. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
tight.
So
Yeah,
I
dude,
could bring in more talent.
you're in contact with a lot of talent, bro. There was that man, I need to remember that girl's name, man. But her and Mr. W, like those were two artists that I was, yo, both of them had at least 2 singles when they were
Hell
rocking
yeah.
on the stage that everybody was, you know, and I don't know, man. If somebody's never heard the song before and they're moving to it, then that says something to me. I don't know. I
Yeah,
appre
that speaks more than something that's on the radio.
yeah, dude, and I
Definitely.
respect I respect songwriting the most, you know, like bars are dope, but if the whole song isn't tight, then you know, I'm like, eh. But
Yeah.
those 2 artists had some bangers on the stage, man. So hopefully you can hear some more stuff from them. So how did you after you did the Kush stock things, when did those things start happening down here in Phoenix, man? The farmers market functions, because Medico's still pretty new here, isn't it? Like
Yeah, I mean
2007 or 8 or something?
they've been having cars and they tweaked it and made it a little more strict. I came at the end of 2014 and honestly I was just like the scene here for music is kind of wishy-washy when it comes to hip hop and it's certain only a couple little channels you can use. So I just was making my name doing little house party functions and shit here. And of
Mhm.
course, online, everything that I'm doing out of town and here is coming across to people everywhere. So some dude, really the guy that hosted the actual event, that was the promoter, he found me on Instagram somehow. I don't know. I never asked him how. But he just hit my DM and was like, "Yo, what you feel about DJing or hosting at a sesh?" And I'm like, "Shit, I'm with it." And we negotiated, and I didn't know what it was gonna grow into or anything. I just knew it was a hosting gig, and I'll probably perform a couple of times, just see how it go. And just using my experience in booking other acts and giving my ideas to the promoter, he ended up letting me run with bringing other talent in the building and just running with some of my ideas to make it even more of a beneficial event for everybody.
Yeah, dude, I think that's a good idea too, and props to Moss for looking out for other independent artists, man.
No doubt.
Cause it is like as a rapper, I've switched to rock and roll since the last album, but I still got all my rap homies, and I still get down on verses. It's difficult to book venues for a rap show, man. Like it was like that in Portland, you know, and I maybe in other cities it's easier, but damn,
Yeah.
it was tough, you know what I mean? And that wasn't my reason for switching genres, but I'm hoping I have a little bit easier go of it when I put this next album out to try and get some
Yeah.
shows. They're super cool cat, bro, for man inviting other people in to rock too, because you know what I
For
mean.
sure.
It is.
Yeah.
It's a good look.
A lot of
Yeah.
people didn't do that for us, when I was coming up. So I like to be the big brother, the mentor. I don't charge people for consultant fees and shit. I just
Yeah,
give them the game like it's free knowledge, but everybody ain't gonna give it to you for free.
yeah, man.
Yeah.
Like if I
And while
value
you,
you, go
yeah,
ahead.
and while you say that that's a thing that you do all the time. That's like not a lot of people do that, and like the real game, they don't give advice out like that. So props to you, man. That's
Man, you
knowledge that
got
people
to.
ain't giving. Exactly.
You earn the game, and certain people, everybody don't deserve it. But you pick and choose. You see who working and really serious about this shit. So you give them the game. Like they need that shit. It's gonna come back to you a whole nother way. They might not be able to pay you back for that, but it's gonna come back to you another way from some other source. That's how it all
Definitely.
works.
Definitely.
No doubt, bro. No
Real
doubt.
shit.
So how long have you been a patient in Arizona?
Honestly, I'm not. I'm
Awesome.
entertainer.
He's the guy on the mic, man. Hook him up,
I'm an
man.
entertainer, and all of the dope caregivers just fuck with the entertainer because
That's
I
tight,
got the
bro.
music for their soundtrack to their life. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, eventually I do plan on becoming a patient, you know, but
Yeah,
that hasn't been a necessity for me. But I plan on doing it. When it turns into the 2 year thing, I'll get it. What is it, after August something? I'll get it.
August 27th, man. That's what
Yeah,
I'm waiting for too. Mine
that's what I'm going to
expired.
do.
You know what I mean? I'm just like I'm waiting for that too, because that's a good ass deal. I don't care what state you're in. Like, man, that
Yeah.
shit lasts for 2 years.
That's
Like,
definitely a good deal. I mean, shit. Look at Oregon. I mean, Oregon was already expensive as shit with like being in the 400s. You know, if you didn't have a recommendation, you're paying close to $400, maybe more for a patient card. And now, they're like it should be, but they're not even. You know, in Oregon, they used to have like doctors that would be like, look, what do you have? Oh, you have back pain? Okay, yeah, and write you a recommendation for that. There's no more of
Yeah.
that. They've like really cracked down on that. So you need to have like I think like multiple doctor recommendations. Yeah, it's gotten very different here in Oregon.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot. Fuck that.
Yeah, $400, and then you also got to have like you got to have like a serious doctor recommendation, either like from a chiropractor, from a real doctor. And it's like, shit, back in the day, like, I'll admit, like, when I didn't know shit about getting my card or how to get my card, I went to a doctor that was like, hey, I did have back problems at the time, but it's like, I went to a place that I didn't have to show a record. So,
Yeah.
Word. That's cool. Yeah, I think California was like that too. You could just pay them.
yeah, and that's how Oregon and California worked for a while. Not to say that it's right, but like I feel like when you make it that hard for people to become patients, you're just shooting yourself in the foot for your own market.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep. Do you have any questions, Will? You want to chime in on anything?
Not so far, but I'll probably have some questions a bit later.
Okay. So, is there any the with private sector, like those ones aren't happening anymore? Is there any new going on that you're hosting that they're cool with you talking about or anything?
Uh, I've been invited to like perform at Stash Box.
Yeah. I've been
That's
to those
like
ones too. Those peeps are cool. I got invited to the what's the shell one? The mermaid one? The Yeah, those ladies had a table next to it at one of the stash box functions, I think, and they were like, "We're throwing ours this weekend." So, but I
yeah,
never made it, man. My card expired, I think, that week, so I was like, I didn't want to try and show up and get turned away at the door.
yeah. I mean, it's another one called Arizona Can Social where they'll have it at like fucking mansion, or sometimes it'll be just like at a regular. Uh, I mess with them tough too. Like, they used
Tight.
to be at the private sector. The people that throw it, they used to be with private sector.
That's dope, man. Is there any of those coming up soon?
It's actually one coming up, I think August 10th or 11th weekend, something like that.
Dope. Yeah, if you need any help, bro, holla at your boy.
Yeah, they inviting, they like bring somebody with you, so I'll probably just, hit you up for sure.
Yeah, let me know, man.
I'll send you
Um,
the flyer and shit.
Yeah. So, as far as cannabis industry stuff goes, you're mostly an entertainer, but I'm sure you've smoked a lot of different weed, man.
Oh yeah.
What's your fave, like as far as strains? And I'm more of a flower guy. I don't dab so much, you know. But
Yeah.
let's hear about Master Beast smoking preferences, man.
Uh when you say that, like, in the can do mess with brands and different people that have their they different strains going and stuff. So who brought me in was Crown OG.
Word.
They out of Cali. I had heard about them winning Cannabis Cup, and they're the ones who brought me to the first Kush stop. I was one of their guests. That's how I got on stage because they were doing giveaways, and they're like, "We just how you rap, while you give away shit on stage," and that's how they brought me. And I
Damn.
never saw weed being sold on the table in the open with police there and everything. Like, what the fuck am I looking at? This
Yeah,
is
dude.
crazy. They trapping legally in California. Like,
Yeah.
wow. So they shit is good, bro. Crown OG. That was like one of my favorite first strains when I was really hitting Cali up. But then I got a hold of the Moon Rock Rosetta Stones that's made by Stony Delights. They were the original growers of Moon Rock, original people that made the Moon Rocks. He really run out of San Diego now. He was the originator of shit with THCA on the shit, not just Keith.
Yeah, crystalline on there. Yeah.
Man, crazy. I'm talking
sounds-
about you mix that with mix some OG. OG and sour diesel are my favorite flavors until I got a hold of gelato. When you mix some good weed with some of that damn set of stones THCA and pour that little THCA on top, boy, you're
Yeah.
not gonna get no higher than you can't get no higher than that. And you roll a fat one, put like 3.5 in that motherfucker in a high hemp wrap. Cause I don't even smoke blunts no more. I don't fuck with backwoods. High hemp wraps is real light, the flavor real light, but the weed gonna taste like it tastes in that motherfucker. And, oh Lord.
No doubt.
Man, I'm trying to remember the taste from a fucking year ago. I gotta get it again. Real.
No doubt.
Yeah,
So
I'm
those are
over,
the
a lot of strains, you put it in the blunt wrap. It's a backwood,
Yeah.
No offense, I love backwoods, so don't get me
I'll do
wrong,
your
John.
thing.
But
If you smoking
but
gas, I'm fucking with
but yeah, I can only smoke a bit of a backwood because fucking the tobacco will fuck me up after a
you.
bit.
Yes.
But yeah, and anything good you put in a tobacco wrap, I feel like if it's dank enough, it'll shine through.
Yeah, it's supposed to. If it don't, it ain't got enough kick in.
That's
Yeah,
true.
man.
That's very true.
I agree. If I can taste your weed through the backwood, through the whole shit,
Yeah,
then
it's
it's
not strong
fire.
enough.
You
Yeah,
know
it's
what I
not
mean?
good. Yeah.
Like Pig Farm, like dude,
Woo.
when I'd roll up one of those, it would taste bomb all the way to the end. I'm like, man,
Yep.
guys got
Yep.
game.
And I agree, Moss on the sour diesel. That was one of my first strains that I fell in
Yeah.
love with. The first time I got that, I literally took I smelled the bag and I took had it set back. I was like, is this really what I just got? Like,
Yeah,
this smells like it's
pretty
literally
and
gonna. It's pretty. It smells crazy, and And the first toke I had, I was like, shit. I've never
Yes.
smoked anything like this before.
Yes, that's the shit you like back then. They was calling that shit like dro, and it was $30 a gram back then. Like,
Yep.
That shit was crazy in Chicago. That's
Yep.
that shit that was 30 a gram.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it was worth it too. It's like people think you're
Back
crazy. Oh
then.
man, you paid $30 a gram. Like, yeah, back then that was the pricing, and also that was fucking damn worth it back then.
Yup,
Like,
it came in
shit.
glass and shit. We was
Mhm.
way ahead of our time back
Yep.
then. I'm like, yeah.
And it's
Give
also
me
crazy
that
too,
good shit.
because you think about the quality of weed, and it's definitely grown a bit. But also when I think back 5 years ago about the Chronic, it's almost like I don't know, herb's been dank for a while. People have figured it out. Like the
Yeah.
stuff that I got 5 years ago that was super dank is pretty comparable to the stuff I get now. So
Yep.
I
Good
agree.
shit.
I was
A
talking
lot
about
more growers.
Yeah.
That's true. A lot more growers, definitely.
And I think access to information also cuts down on the learning. I was talking about that with
Yeah.
the guys I
Definitely.
gave a lift to today. They were like, "Man, a lot of people are just afraid to read up." I'm like, "Dude, you can literally get 2 books and just surf the net on some forums and figure out how to fucking dial it in."
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, if people have the patience to do 3 rounds, on that third round should be pretty fire, man. If you read everything you're supposed to,
Yep. Yep.
and yeah, but I dig how many different varieties of genetics there are nowadays, and it's if it goes federal, fellas. I know I say this every episode, but I want people to be able to grow their own if it's federally
Yeah,
legal,
at
you
least
know.
a certain amount of plants or something. Like, what the?
Yeah, man, at least. Cause it just I feel like,
I
um
don't think they with that though. I
yeah,
don't
but
think they're with that.
dude, yeah, well, cause you can make your own beer, but it's like these huge producers that go nationwide, well, they're not gonna have too much variety. They're gonna zero in on 10 or less strains and just grow the shit out of those because they can do it consistently or something, and I just dig being able to try different stuff, and I don't want it to be only 10 different things. I want it to be hundreds, you know what I mean? It's like I like
Right.
this one because they run out. This shit shows up on Thursday, the first Thursday of every month, and then it's gone on Sunday. So I try to show up and grab one at least, 'cause it's pretty good. I feel like I'm trying to hope that small producers still can eat, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Definitely.
Because
Yeah.
there's
That's
so
what they don't want though. You know, the government gonna tax everything. So if they can't tax it, keep a control over that. They
yeah,
not with the shit, man. I mean, you gotta
Yep.
just anticipate them being on that before it's yeah, you can grow. That's something we're gonna have to add on later once we at least just get it legal. You know what I'm saying? We gotta
no
stop.
doubt.
Like Arizona is fucked up because they just want it to be perfect before it goes into recreation. So you have people literally having like big events to stop you from voting for the recreational here
Yeah,
because it ain't perfect the way they want it to be. Why don't you just get it perfect and edit that shit later? I mean,
yeah.
get it legal first and then edit it to me.
Word,
Get it
word.
legal.
I read an article that said the Arizona Attorney General, he was being interviewed, and he said that he would like for the state legislature to make it legal instead of putting it on the ballot and making voters decide again. Because he's like, look, this is what's happening. You know what I mean? Like it's here.
Yeah.
There's a huge black market. Like, yeah, there's medical available, but still, it's like you guys need to just do this because it's gonna pass anyway. Why are you guys still dragging your feet? You know what I mean? You should make it
Yeah.
legal. Then you guys can decide what the language is. You know what I mean? And so it just
Yeah.
I hope that that happens, but I just want the language to say you can grow your own, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I also just I hope they um give priority to people that had already been in the medical the medical industry. Um but the main thing for me in this, not the main thing, but definitely one of the main things, but one of the things that's kind of hard to address just because it's um doesn't necessarily get as much attention is just like the equity between um who and how we allow people to have businesses in this industry, because it's right now it's a white male dominated industry,
Man, it is
and
so fucked up.
yeah, and
Yeah.
historically, people of color have been the ones that are always incarcerated for it and have seen multiple years of jail time for it. And one of the things that I think is important in the industry is to make sure that people who have actually been jailed for it, people who are family members of someone that's been in jail for cannabis,
Yes.
they're the ones that are given the first chance to make something of it, you know? Because
Man,
fuck
it's
fuck these
fucked up
white
already.
rich males that are adding it to their resume, or just because I got the money I can do this. The people that need to be given the first chances are the people that were previously incarcerated for it.
Word up, Will. I'm one
In
of
a
those
perfect
guys,
world,
man.
In a
Yeah.
perfect world, right? And
that's
that
how it
is,
should happen because they were the
it's
first
sad that we
ones
have to say
to
in the perfect
enterprise this
world,
shit.
but
Yeah.
You
yes.
know where we at, so that is not what.
Yeah, man.
It's fucked up. It's totally
Yeah.
fucked up, and
It
it's
is
still on
fucked up.
people's records and all of this shit. Like,
Yup, it's still on people's records while other people are making money off it. It's really sickening. Fucked up.
and why do they tell me when I came to Arizona I was so green, like I was like, man, I could come out here and open a dispensary or at least a delivery service. And like,
Definitely.
man, you need $1 million insurance, $1 million in the bank, liquid to do this. I'm like, who the
Fuck
fuck
that.
has this?
Yeah,
How
man.
does it take all of that to open a weed
Yeah.
store?
No
Because
Yeah,
I
it's
can
like-
open the weed store if you just let me open the weed store. I could do it and it look just like a dispensary without all this extra shit.
Yeah.
Yep.
No doubt. Yeah, that was our next question from Mitchell, dude. Is does Moss have any connection to the cannabis community industry? Maybe his own strain or shop or grow or any future. But it's like,
I
man,
don't
man,
have
you
nothing.
need a milli to get in, man. Are you
Man, I'm attached to certain brands though, like
yeah, man,
that
pump them
sponsor
out,
me.
bro. Yeah, who then? Is there any
Nature's
breeders?
RX. Golden
Nature's
Grizzly
RX.
is my first brand. They out of California. They
Golden
got the
Grizzly.
best weed syrup in the land ever. It literally gets you lit like lean. It
Oh,
really
shit,
will
weed
put you
syrup.
on your ass.
I want to
That's
try
one of
Really
my
that.
will
favorite
put you on your
things.
ass.
Me too. I like the
THC
weed syrup. Like
So
at the fucking stash box functions, I would always try to sit next to the syrup lady. You know what I mean? And I drink like 4 of them things before I
Yo,
go home.
I don't
Like,
get
oh,
high that much off edibles, but every time I do syrup, I'd be like lit within
it's
20 minutes,
different.
and I have
It
to
hit
like
your
it's way
bloodstream
different.
different or something when you drink it, bro. I don't know. But these specifically Golden Grizzly out of activists here, and they call the company's called Nature's RX. That
nature's
shit
alright.
gets you lit.
Oh, I
bro.
think I've heard of that.
Nature's RX,
So,
that's the homie, and like he sponsored me and shit. So we definitely work together on, just pumping
That's
the
awesome.
brand up through my music and him with his listen. So
That's dope,
that
man.
shit.
heck yeah,
If
that's
you
awesome.
if you get any extra bottles of that, man, I'll grab from you. Cause
Yeah, when I have some promos, I got you. That shit just go quick. Everybody.
yeah. Well, my
It's
main
like that.
complaint-
It's like that lean back from Dirty Arm.
Yeah, that shit was
lean back
good.
scissor. That shit goes so quick. Like everyone wants it because it's like the way they infuse it. I don't know how they do it. The decarb or whatever they do, but like I don't know. I have a high ass tolerance, and I'd take like a quarter ounce of that or an ounce of that down, and I'd be lit. I'm like, geez, usually it
Yeah,
takes
if you
me
drink
like
it straight.
400 milligrams.
I used to
Yeah.
pour 4 ounces in a 2-liter and just drink it all day.
Hell yeah. Well,
Yep.
that's my main complaint because every time I see it on the shelf, if it's like 10 or 15 bucks, I'm like, I'll take one of those. You know what I mean? Like I'll try it. But it doesn't make me feel like lean does, bro. And that's what I want. I'm like,
get
man,
it.
I'm like, and it's like the decarb process, like Will was talking about. I feel like they're not decarbing it for long enough. Like maybe they're just doing it for a couple of hours, and it's like, nah, cook that shit for a fucking day, bro, for like a whole 24 hours, and then put it in the fucking syrup. Then, like, cause man, I just want to be glued to the couch. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what Golden
Yeah.
Grizzly do.
Dude, I'm gonna
Golden
have to try that, bro.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I remember was it back in the day, John you remember Sunrise Analytical?
Yeah, they're lab testing.
Like old school lab, like way back in the day. I might have mentioned something about this. You probably heard this, but when I was in college and I was a patient, I was going to Cherry City Compassion when I lived in Salem. Um, Sunrise Analytical made 200 milligram RSO caps. They used to be like a big producer of RSO, and they'd capsule some of their leftovers, and they'd make these 200 milligram RSO caps that they sold for $5 each. So I had a hella. It's like probably 600 milligrams is where I like to be. So I'd buy like four of those pills, 15, 20 bucks. Pop them for the night, and I'd be good. You know, it'd be a little overboard probably, but back in the days when like 15 to 20 bucks could get you actually like 500 plus milligrams, and now you think about that, it's like you'd almost have to spend double to get that many milligrams, you know?
Yeah, dude. And then there's all these limits too for red. Oh, we lost Moss for a second, man. Hopefully he returns here. Sounded like a robot for a second there, man. Did you hear that in your headphones, Will?
No, I didn't.
Word. Mitch heard it, I guess. All right. So, hopefully we get Moss the Beast back here in a second. Will and I will freestyle for a second. How did you go to the store at all this week and grab anything on the East Coast? I'm always anxious to hear about your East Coast cannabis experiences because
I
I
did
just wasn't
actually,
out there.
and grabbed some. Actually, grabbed the best strain, best grown strain I've had the whole time. It was Gorilla Glue from our local spot in Northampton called NETA, New England Treatment Access, and it's a simple strain, but it's one of my favorites, Gorilla Glue. And it smelled like Gorilla Glue should. It tastes
Word.
like Gorilla Glue should.
Did you find a
And
seed
that's
in
the
there? Did you find a seed in there?
no seeds yet. But I will say, having a strain smell strongly and taste strongly like it should is a
Yeah.
first. And getting strains from Massachusetts dispensaries. So I'm thankful for that. But yeah,
Yeah, man.
um,
A recognizable flavor that
yeah,
that you got to
exactly. And
taste
actually
again.
makes me feel like I'm smoking something good. You know, I took a bong rip of it before I went to bed last night. It tastes strong like Gorilla Glue. It's got the kick.
Yeah.
It's nice and smooth.
Are you
So
are you back, Moss? Are you back? We
I'm
can see.
here.
Okay, we can hear you. We
Oh.
can hear you. All right. Shoot, dude, I forgot where. There he
there he
is.
is.
There
Hell
he
yeah.
is.
For a
Sure.
second.
All right. Moss the Beast checking back in, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm back. I had a
No
sandwich
doubt.
break.
Oh yeah, all good, man. All good. Yeah.
No,
No
my phone
problem.
died. Shit.
Oh no, it's all good.
I
Yeah.
believe you for a second. I was like, yeah.
Dude, it sounded weird. It was like a weird robot effect on everyone's voice for a second. It was like, man. what the hell?
Hey, sandwich breaks are definitely respected here. So
Yeah. Sometimes we gotta grab a beer or a water, go to the bathroom real quick. So we try to not have dead air at least, man. That's why I'm glad I got Will. You know what I mean?
For
Like,
sure.
yeah.
So I got a random question for you, Moss. When you're doing events and cannabis events, is there any like certain like soundtracks you navigate towards for them, or is there any like you try and pick songs that have like cannabis references, or you just go with what you're feeling with?
Really more so what I'm feeling, but of course I definitely want to have one or two weed related songs in there. But if I'm dropping some new hot shit, I really just want them to hear whatever I want the masses to hear. And then
yeah.
I'll I got a song called Gasoline. I usually perform at the cannabis events because it's obviously one of them songs. And
Heck yeah. That's awesome.
Dude, remember it was like, oh no, it was like 99, 2000. E40 had an album and he had a song called Gasoline. Dude, I didn't know like that's what he was talking about. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And like he is, like I saw an interview with him, you know what I mean? I think he was on the Breakfast Club because he has a new album out on Friday. I was just like, man, he really did say a bunch of slick shit. Sometimes I didn't get when I was a kid, but
yeah,
now that you know what I mean? I'm like, damn, he's
yeah,
pretty sharp. Yeah.
dude, smart as hell, man. He been had the vocabulary
Yeah,
on lock.
man. Yeah, I agree. And that's a long time to be in the game and still put albums out and tour. I don't know. I respect his
Definitely.
hustle a lot.
And I
Maybe
gotta
maybe we could get him
piggy
on the show.
piggybacking off Mitchell's question from a bit ago, asking anything in the future. Moss, do you have any like aspirations or do you have any like plans for the future where you want to take your entertainment company or rapping career?
Oh yeah, I definitely want to get more into throwing events and like shows with other artists that are coming up, and so I kind of be knowing who coming up next. Like I might have either done something with them at like a show or a festival, or I've just got my ear to the internet and the streets to where I'll know what's coming up next. So being able to have my ear that and it's still there, I could get the big new person for cheap early because I know about them already.
Hmm.
Do the show in the city first, like I knew about the baby in 2015.
Huh.
He blowing up now. We did,
Really?
yes, me, the baby, and
Fuck.
Post Malone did a show together at South by Southwest.
That's
Damn.
All of
awesome.
us under the same fucking bill.
Huh.
That's
That's
awesome.
crazy.
When I
Post
scroll,
Malone too? That's crazy.
Huh?
yeah, that's crazy, man. I mean, when I scroll by like Sirius XM and the rap channels, I scroll between there and a few other channels. Like pretty much the number one artist I see on those channels is Debate, and he's got some good stuff out for sure right now.
Yeah, he can really rap and he know how to market his shit, man. All of it came together for him. Man. I'm proud, like,
That's
to
awesome.
rub shoulders with people like that. That mean I was doing something right, and I'm doing something right.
Word.
Definitely.
No doubt, Moss. No doubt. But it
Yeah,
was
so that's the plan. Like to answer your question, it's more so get on the promoter side. I'll still perform. I'll still, put my artists on at the same time. But at the end of the night, when you done pay somebody, 5 to 10,000, and you get 15 to 20 back, that's the better feeling, I'm sure, than anything. Even better than performing and getting some money off of it.
I
Getting that
agree.
big check off of it is
Definitely.
gotta feel good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
Yep.
And then breaking bread too, man. Like,
Yeah, being able to pay people for doing their service, that too.
I agree. Like that's my main goal. I'm trying to be able to get my session player to do the shows too. You know what I mean? It's like, look, I'll pay you this. You know what I mean? And so trying to negotiate that and the booking fees, the key.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
definitely. All right, Moss. Looks like we got a question from our tech guy, Mitchell. He's asking, what is your and what is the craziest shit to happen at a show? And by shows, he means your own show.
What's the craziest shit that happened at a show?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then what was your favorite show that you ever did or
Okay.
performed? You know what I mean?
That's two good questions. The craziest shit to happen at a show. Okay. One show I was still on the come up in Nashville. Actually, when I told you I had the club owners that give me the night, before that happened, it was another guy that was throwing these type of shows at his venue. It was a short dude with a camera. He always had a camera around his neck. And he had, independent artists come perform on a Thursday night. And we had performed there the week before. And I did real good. And the owners like asked for my CD and all of this shit. So I already started building rapport with the venue. And the promoter for that night, the second Thursday we came back, he was kind of like bullshitting me on even getting in the venue,
Damn.
let alone to perform. He was like, "You gonna perform? You gonna have to perform first or last." I'm like, why are you trying to mess up my order when we just need to go on when the most people are here? That's all we asking for. We
Yeah,
already did good. The owners like us. We need to go on when the people here. So the
yeah.
security found out about this. They were listening while we was going back and forth right at the door. So I'll step back for a second talking to my people because it was a group of us. And security got the whooping dude ass.
No
They
shit.
got to
Damn.
beating his ass, man, for over the fact that they was bullshitting me. So that was probably the craziest moment at a show. And I didn't even perform that night. It got fucked up. The promoter got fucked up, so it didn't even happen. Like it was
Damn.
about to perform. People literally came out to see me perform. I had like 20 people at the door waiting to see me, and there was people already in the venue waiting to see me. So that and the funnest show, my favorite show, was probably my first release party for my first album, LeBron Jordan Kobe. It's a little camera phone video floating around on YouTube with that shit, like the full thing. And it was the first time I got to use my stage production manager who actually does lighting for all of your favorite artists, bro. Like, he just happened to live in the same condo building as me, downtown Nashville. He like, what are you doing? He saw like people bringing studio equipment into my condo. He like, what do you do, man? I'm like, I'm a rapper. My engineer and my producers, they bring the equipment to my house and we just record in my condo instead of me going to the studio. So he was like, man, I gotta show you what I do. He did Nas show, he does J. Cole's, everybody, like anybody you could think of, he does
That's
that shit,
tight.
ship out the
That's
equipment
awesome.
and fucking presets it. So he did my show for LeBron Jordan Kobe in a small little venue, but it still was dope. Sold out, all of this shit. And that show and that was the first show I really seen like stupid profit off of. Like I spent 300 on the venue. I was able to pay people and still came home with like $1,500. I was like, yeah,
That's
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 awesome.
tight.
When did
because you don't
LeBron
profit off
Jordan?
of these shows all the time.
No, definitely. And when did LeBron Jordan Kobe come out? Like what year?
That was in 2013.
2013. So you almost like you predicting shit. It's like LeBron Jordan Kobe is like LeBron and Kobe are on the same team now. The Lakers is like shit. That's some
Yeah, I didn't even think
foreshadowing
about
right there. That's some foreshadowing right there.
that. Yeah, and LeBron Jordan Kobe 2 gonna be my next album too. So it all comes full circle. I want to have that type of
Heck
moment
yeah.
again with the release party out here. I'm gonna really do it in multiple cities this time instead of just Nashville.
That's
Word.
awesome.
Yeah, man. Maybe you could do one in Portland, man. I'll ask around, see what
Let's
figure
work
out,
on it. You
man.
got the
Through Burn
Yeah.
connects out
Money.
there.
Do it through Burn Money.
Yeah, yeah, Burn Money Records. Yeah. Yeah, dude. Yeah, we should do that.
Yeah, let's
Um,
chop it up and make it happen.
I'm with it. So Mitchell has another question. Who is better, LeBron Jordan or Kobe?
Come on, man.
I
If you
know it's
look at
not
my
what
cover, if you look at the cover I put out on the first one, Jordan is in the middle, LeBron is on the left, Kobe on the right. They looking at the man in the middle. Jordan is the best, and I'm from Chicago, so I seen it firsthand.
Yeah.
All
I'm
right.
a '90s kid. I was born in the '80s,
Yeah.
but I'm from the '90s. I
Yeah.
seen it, bro. Jordan, there's no man.
There's
There's
nobody
no
better
comparison. He
than
light years
Jordan.
past these people, man. Look at the record in the finals. The man is 6-0.
Yep.
Yeah.
He never lost because he's a fucking killer.
Yeah. The
Absolutely.
that whole decade too, man. That was the best decade for rap and rock.
Yes,
You
it
know what I
was
mean?
Shit was
NBA
ju-
and hip hop was the shit in the '90s.
Yeah,
Fuck
I
the
think
dude.
it's
gangs.
coming back now. I
It
think it's
really
coming back
was.
though.
Yep. The Gangstar albums. Oh shit. Hard to Earn.
Man,
Yeah,
everything in the '90s was
Woo.
golden.
yeah.
Yeah.
There was
90s. Oh my god.
so much variety too. Everybody sounds the same nowadays, Master B. Everybody, you know. And I was driving Lyft, and I jammed the New Music Fridays playlist when I'm driving on Friday. And so I picked up some kids who were going to a movie. They were probably like 21, 22. And I was like, all right, this is the New Music Friday playlist. They're like, okay, cool. And we get like 30 seconds into a song, and I'm like, do you guys like this? They're like, nah, we skip. We go to the next one. I'm like, 30 seconds in, I'm like, doesn't this one sound just like the last one? And they're like, yeah. And we got the third one, same thing. And I'm like, geez, I don't even know these rappers' names, and they all sound the same. And then we skipped one more, and it was Ed Sheeran featuring Eminem, 50 Cent. And I was just like, man.
Nah.
Whoa.
That's not the shit right there.
It was all
I
right.
ain't never heard. I ain't know that happened.
It
Wow.
was all right. I thought it was dope. You don't like Ed Sheeran? He's redheaded. Will, you don't like Ed Sheeran?
I ain't
No,
never
I
heard.
mean, fuck, man. I mean, Ed Sheeran's cool. I mean, he's cool with what he does, but like, man, at the end of the day, I'm not trying to hear songs about love and shit. Like, you
No, it
know,
was
no offense,
it
love
was
is great, but like, I want to hear
Yeah,
about
that
some
ain't
real
shit you
shit.
ride to.
Like, man, fuck.
it was like a party song. It was like I don't know if Dr. Dre produced it, but it sounded like a Dr. Dre beat, and I was like, man, that's
Was it
tight.
Party in the USA?
No, it was let me fucking look it up real quick here. Ed Sheeran.
And don't get me wrong, I'm white, so, you know, I and
Remember the
myself
name.
contribute to white privilege in a way, but like,
Well, I
the
thought you
best
would.
music is like, I don't want to hear any white music, pretty much. Like, the best music is not produced by white people in any sense. Good fucking lord. The best
Man,
music is produced by
my
people of color and
well, hey now, Will.
anyone
Hey,
who's not white.
Hey now, Will, my main producer, Tyrant, that I've been working with since 2001 is a white guy. And he's
True.
pretty
I'm
solid,
sure he's
Will.
Some of my
good.
best
Don't get me,
producers are
there's
white guys,
talented
too.
people out there.
Yeah.
But in the sense, I feel like the best music comes from the heart and the soul. And white people don't have that much. They don't have that much in their heart and soul that they've had to go through to produce great music, you know?
It's
It just,
called
in
Very
my
valid
opinion,
point.
we've had it very easy, you know, white privilege, it's all been, you know, fucking, it's been easy for the fucking white man, you know? So, at least in terms like how, you know, I'm much more interested in hearing music from people of color and real artists, you know, people that don't necessarily have the
Well,
ability or privilege of
well,
I don't know.
yeah, it's called Remember the Name. That's Ed Sheeran featuring Eminem and 50 Cent. Remember the
Remember
Name.
the
I'll check
name.
it
That
out.
sounds like
Yeah.
an old school song.
Dude,
When was it released?
it sounded like they recorded it 10 years ago, but it's
Was
still
it like I
man.
feel like I remember that from an NBA 2K or something soundtrack, like you remember the name, some
No,
shit like that. I'm like,
it's
Hell
sick.
no.
It sounds like Dr. Dre and Scott Storch is what it sounds like. But
okay, word.
it's good. It's real slick and real. It's like a hustling party type song.
I dig it. I swear though, there was a song like 4 years ago when I was playing NBA 2K that was like, "You gonna remember the name." probably some other white dude, but I gotta look it up.
I dig your honesty, Will. I dig what you're saying, Will.
He real, man. I like that. He's real.
Yeah. All right. So
Gotta be real.
yeah, man, honesty is really the best policy, guys. So
Yeah.
what else do you want to talk about, Moss? Weed related, I guess, or anything in general, man. Like what sort of ideas? This was one of my cookie cutter questions I asked every time. Was what sort of ideas or concepts would you like to promote for the future, Master Beast?
It's a good question though, John.
Well, I can't give out my ideas until I officialize them, man.
Okay.
There
I'm
you
not
go.
telling
Yep.
people what I'm gonna do. The best way for that shit to happen is shut your mouth and do the work and put it
Yep.
out officially.
Word.
Because if you talk about it early, it ain't gonna happen or it's gonna be fucked up.
Word.
But music wise, like I said, LeBron Jordan Kobe 2 is next. And the type of deal I have, I'm able to drop music on my own shit too. So after LeBron Jordan Kobe, I'm gonna drop God's Mission. I've been working on that album since I first started in 2010. So I
Word.
got beats that I've saved from platinum ass producers before they were platinum. I still got these beats, like from
Dope.
6 Sense,
Ooh.
who did the new song with Drake and Rick Ross. He produced that. He did
Dope.
six guy. He
Damn.
produced all of that. He produced that Nice for What by Drake. Like he got Big Boy Records.
No
So
way, man.
I'm
Damn,
dropping with.
you got beats from him?
Yeah, I got plenty beats from him, and
Yeah.
I got Honorable C-No, who does a lot of shit with 2 Chainz, Future, ASAP Ferg, all these people, Lil Wayne, all these. That was my first producer, actually, Honorable C-No.
Huh.
And I got a song with him and my group that we had the first, 16 tracks on our album was produced by Honorable C-No. So I had to put them on the song that's gonna be on God's Mission for sure.
Damn, dude.
Heck yeah.
If you ever have uh a moment where you want some other people to brainstorm over some beats with, dude, hit me up, man. 'Cause
I just be in solitude and I've just been going
me
through a lot
too.
in my personal life. So
Me
that
too.
just ain't been something I've been able to do.
No
But
doubt.
definitely I just got away from a situation. I'm downtown. I stayed solo again. Like I'm about to
No
really
doubt.
be on that, so we could definitely link.
Word. I'm in
Heck yeah.
Arcadia, bro. If you want to stop by here, we could jam beats here at the crib and smoke too, man.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I'll pull up on you.
So
Yeah.
I got a question. So Moss, is LeBron Jordan and Kobe 2 like a sequel off of LeBron Jordan and Kobe 1, or is it a new project entirely?
It is a new project entirely. I actually had a song called LeBron Jordan Kobe, but I
Mhm.
think it's kind of cliche to do a part 2 of the actual song. But I want
Totally.
to give kind of that same energy that I had on part 1 on part 2, but let it be its own body of work. I do
Nice.
have a song called Zion on LeBron Jordan Kobe 2 because he's the
Heck yeah.
new, I got to give
Yep.
props to
Yep.
the new. But the rest of the album ain't even talking about basketball. It's more of an
Mhm.
energy that you feel like you balling in the streets, you balling in the studio, you balling in work. Like it's an attitude, it's an energy.
Totally.
Yeah, man.
Totally.
I agree. No doubt. Well, shit, fellas. What else do you want to talk about, Moss? Is there anything else you want to promote besides your new album? Is there any artists
Uh,
that you're trying to tell people to go check out, or is there any like dispensaries besides the syrup? Was it Grizzly? What was it? Grizzly?
Golden Grizzly, they make
Golden
love
Grizzly.
nectar. That's out of Cali. And
N-
Hash Divisions are from Nature's RX. They here. So more
Okay.
people probably heard about them. But other than that, just Yella the OG. That's my artist and producer. He put his own projects out now too. So I would tell people to check his stuff out that's coming.
Is
Yella
it
the OG.
like DJ Yellow with an A?
Nah, yeah. Just Yella the THA and then OG. He on Spotify, all of that.
Got him. Dope. Man, he looks like my engineer Willie Animal.
Man, he a producer and a spitter. Like, that's my little bro. Like, he make a lot of the beats that you hear on my project. He been on every project since I've been going solo.
That's cool. So he writes and records too?
Yeah,
Damn,
definitely.
That's
man.
the deadly ass combo too when you can spit
Yeah.
and produce.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. Hell
I
yeah,
like
bro.
them guys. I like to keep them type of guys around me. They
Me
Yeah,
too.
super
Me
creative.
definitely.
me
You know what I'm
too,
saying?
bro. Same.
Look.
I'm like, he's dope, man. I'm gonna hang out with him, man. Like, he's cool. He can make
Yeah,
beats and rap, you know?
hell yeah. He'll have a hook and like, man, write to this beat up. Like, it's funny how the producers they just know what's you. They send me
Yeah.
beats like in the middle of the night at 1 a.m. Get them
Yeah.
like, how the fuck did you know that I wanted to write to this? Like, this is perfect for me.
Yeah, those
Thank
are the best. Man, I usually get assignments, bro, and I haven't worked with my main producer, Ty, for a few months, but every now and then he'd send like, you should check this out. What do you I'm like, oh, I'm like, don't fucking send this to anyone
you.
else, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, dude, when did you make this? Don't send it to anyone else. I want it. I want it. I don't care, man. I'll
Yeah.
take it.
Yeah. It's also pretty dope. I mean, I don't write or rap in any sense, but it's also like I feel like a lot of not a lot like sometimes, like someone a rapper, gets a beat and they immediately know, like they hear it and they immediately know their like lyrics. They know
Yeah.
what they're gonna, they're like they're feeling it and they know like I know exactly how I'm gonna rap to this. And
Bro,
it's
it's
like
the beat
that's
talks to
fucking
you.
amazing.
The
Yep.
beat talks to you. I swear, some beats are like they just come and you like, fuck, I got the hook already. Like the first
Yep.
play of the beat, the hook will come so quick. It's like, how the fuck? And
Crazy.
I
It's
didn't write
amazing.
it or nothing. It's just in my head. I can say it. It's just there.
Yep.
Like how
Yep.
the music speaks to you, man. That's the best way I can explain it.
That's
No
awesome.
doubt. No doubt. So, shoot, I don't know if oh, wait, we got another question from Jess. Yeah, good question,
That is a
Jess.
good question.
Okay, Monster Beast, we got a question from Jess in the production room. What were the differences that you observed between the hip hop scene in Chicago and Nashville?
Man, Chicago is gutter.
Like
Chicago
Chief
was,
Chief Keef is a real representation of the rap out there.
I mean,
Cause I like that song. I don't like when I heard that. I was like, this
yeah,
is because we would say that on our res too. You know what I mean? It's like, man, that's that shit I don't like. You know what I mean? Like, fuck.
right.
You know what I mean?
He
Like,
just had that's just a small percentage, really, man. It's a lot of spitters. It's a lot of real hip hop heads in Chicago that just don't get the credit they deserve. But I'm glad the drill and the street, Chief Keef type, G Herbo type, King Louis, them guys, I'm glad they get they shine too. But Nashville doesn't have a lot of artists getting a lot of shine and actually living the good life off of music.
yeah, it's
More
more of a
so of producers are getting that from Nashville, but not the actual spitters. And really it that difference is weird because Nashville is right there, has a music role, all these studios, record
it's,
labels, everything, but
and
it's
it's
more
mainly
so geared
country.
towards country music.
Yeah,
Yeah,
But the
that's what I'm gonna
resources are
say.
still there. They got publishing companies and everything. So
yeah.
it's
Yep.
weird as fuck. But Chicago just got that street money, man. I think the drill rappers came in, they had the money, they had the buzz, and they had to let them in. You know what I'm saying? Nashville ain't came with that yet. Like You ain't got no $50,000, $100,000 budget as an independent, and your song popping in more than one region, and you got connections to the industry. Like the people that get close to that, they get killed before they get out of Nashville. The people that I've
Yeah.
seen almost there, like they get snatched away, or you got somebody like,
Yeah,
man,
Young Buck, would you say is probably the largest rapper from that
he's
city?
still the largest, but it's people like Starlito. Starlito, I don't know if y'all heard of him. He used to be with Cash Money. He used to go by the name of All Star. He had a song with Lil Wayne. He was under Yo Gotti first, and
Ah,
then he
is
branched
Yo
off
Sounds
to
Gotti
that.
familiar, yeah.
is
Yeah,
Yo Gotti Nashville or is he
Yo
Memphis?
Gotti Memphis,
Oh,
but
okay.
Memphis,
that's
yeah.
2 hours, 2 3 hours away. So Starlito, I would say, is the biggest rapper besides Young Buck. He's living good off of this shit. He's like a Dom Kennedy, Nipsey Hussle type of figure from Nashville that a lot of people know on the underground, but they still pay for his shows. Then a lot of people don't know him. Like y'all might not know him, but he's living good. He a
Word.
millionaire off this rap shit easily, I'm sure.
That's dope, man.
Nashville, I'm not Nashville, Memphis too has like damn, they got a lot of like underground good rappers coming from there.
Yeah,
Like was it
they got a
DJ
lot of beats
Paul
too.
and
Yeah, 3 6,
yeah,
man.
definitely. And at least I've been in Nashville once. The impression I got from Nashville, it's like still a lot of like fucking white people that like country music in a sense. But there's
It's
definitely
a
like
tourist spot for
yep,
that.
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah. But yeah, there's more people, moving towards the hip hop genre. Yeah, hopefully it takes over that shit cuz I fucking can't stand country personally at least. I don't know, just
I
not
had a
not
home
my style.
Yeah.
I respect people who like it, but I mean, we can just in a shallow view of country, we can do so much more artistically. There's so much more out there and artistically in depth, through other genres. I feel like country, but that's my opinion. So
no
Yeah,
doubt.
hip hop. I just think once somebody big enough or make it big enough, like make it aware out of Nashville. I think a dude named Trapper Man Dale, he's under Starlito. He getting buzz. Like I seen him on BET jams and shit. Like when you got people hitting these national channels and doing something to get seen all the way, it'll help bring awareness that it's not just country in Nashville. These some
yep,
real street dudes, some real rappers, some real producers. Like if you could produce for Drake and all of them, and you from Nashville, then there's rappers that these producers believe in. That's how they got to that next level. They was producing for us first.
Yeah.
So
yeah. And like I said before, like I'm white, so I don't really know anything about the hardcore rap or hardcore of anything this. But when I think about like kind of nitty gritty rap, I think of Memphis, like one of the top spots. I think of there's a lot of good artists that originally came from that area.
Yeah,
yeah, and it's
Ballin'
funny
G.
that's only 2 hours away, man. It's not
Yep,
far, and it's a lot of the same stuff that go on in Memphis is happening in Nashville. They just keep it on
definitely.
the hush. They just keep it on the hush. I guess First 48 is filmed in Memphis, so it
Yep,
got a
Ah,
harder look on TV off top.
yeah,
yep,
yeah.
yep.
Yeah, I remember one of my weed plugs in college. He was a Seattle cat, but he said he lived in Nashville for a couple years and he was doing the white girl thing out there. And he said some dude came to his crib, just railed out. Some white dude pulled a gun on him and jacked him, and he said he moved like the next week. Like broke his lease and left. He was like, bro,
Damn.
fuck that. He was shook, you know what I mean? And so I was like, well, that's a fucking terrible story. He's like, bro, that's a fucking cocaine
Well,
town.
fuck that.
He's
And where
like,
the hell does
man,
that dude live
well,
that pulled
dude,
the gun?
well, no, like he
I'm
doesn't
just
know.
kidding.
It's like he came to his
Yeah.
apartment. You know what I mean? So just like some random jack move. And I was like, damn,
Ugh.
well, bummer. I'm like, weed people usually won't do that, so that's cool at least.
My God, white people with guns. I just need to hear less about that shit.
Yeah. Well,
Good Lord.
that was his hood experience, at least with Nashville. But when you were talking about Moss was talking about the rappers getting snuffed before they get large enough from that city. I remember reading an interview with Buck where he talked about same thing. It was like a jack move. Fools came and hit them up, and he was shot. And his bro DT, my bro DeNovo got a feature from DT on his album. So shout out to DeNovo, shout out to
All right.
DT. But in the interview, he's like, man, because they had a couple albums together before he signed with G Unit. It was like Young Buck and DT.
Yeah.
And in the interview, he was just saying, man, I was hit like 3 times, like I'm fucking bleeding out my stomach and shit. And he's like, we had a bunch of fucking work at the crib. So like we had to fucking gather everything up in the scales and take it somewhere else and then go to the hospital. You know what I mean? And he's like, he's like, I think Detail only got hit like once in one of his limbs, so he was okay to drive and shit. And they had to go and drop everything off somewhere else and then go to the fucking hospital. And he lived. You know what I mean? Like it just, I was like, fuck, that's like somebody
Fucking
tried to,
soldier stories, bro.
yeah, but it's like he was bubbling, you know what I mean? And that's what happened to him because it was one of those, it was like the Hoods DVDs or something. And it was Juvenile was kicking it with Young Buck, and they were smoking
Yeah.
weed and shit. And I remember Young Buck had it like his teeth and everything, like he's wearing on the album with the ski mask, and he would just smiling real big. I was like, man, and the song they were working on was pretty fire, but it's like a couple years later, he was with G Unit. It's like, damn, that's that same guy from that DVD, man. Check it out. And so
Hell yeah.
it was cool to hear his story about making it through and signing a contract where he could eat off of. But sounds like Nashville's kind of hood too, though. You know, like a lot of those country
I
guys.
think
Those country guys do coke,
it's
man.
it's a lot of hood out there. It's a lot of intelligent rap at the same time. It's just a lot of different flavors. It's
Word.
not heard, man. I be wondering what it is. It's kind of a lack of budgeting for marketing. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have enough money to really get it seen by the masses, you won't.
Yeah, I agree.
Unless you got a major, shout out from another artist or somebody else take you on tour. It was a dude named NFL Mr. YG Mr. He was on tour with Sada Baby. I don't know if y'all heard of him, but Sada Baby out of Detroit, and he done did songs with a lot of big artists. So YG Mister was on his way, but he went to the club and got killed. Like that's how the shit happens in that. If you go to the club, motherfucker don't like you, they done pay security to get in with their gun, and they gonna shoot who they want to shoot. And it just happened to be people like that that's on their way that do have that look that can get them through the door to change the whole damn city. You killing them at home.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Damn.
yeah. It's a bummer, man. Yeah. Okay. So we got a question from Mitch. Is that from Mitchell? All right. So what's your favorite Elvis song? Moss the Beast.
My favorite Elvis song. Who? He said
Elvis.
Elvis?
Yeah. Since we're talking about Nashville,
That's right,
This
man. Like
this like the
Elvis,
challenge
who?
of me. Elvis technically is Memphis, bro. But that's like asking me just to be able to name a Elvis song. I
I
don't
thought
have
it
a
was like
favorite
what's
Elvis song.
what's
I don't even know Elvis music like that.
Right?
I remember one time coming to the studio when I was in college. My big homie T Spade, they had a guitar there, and he had the session before me, and he was sitting there playing the guitar, and he was singing Hound Dog. You ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time. That's my favorite Elvis song, I would say.
That sounds like it could be a DMX song too.
Yeah.
But you know what? I heard some songs from Elvis where he was actually singing. And I
Yeah.
was like, damn, dude could really actually sing. I didn't really hear those songs, but it's probably one of those songs where he's actually singing. And he reminded me of James Brown.
Word.
Cause James Brown can fucking sing too, bro. You really think he just a
Yeah.
performer, but that man
Nah,
can
you could say.
sing. He had Christmas songs and everything, like
Well, that's like,
singing his fucking heart out.
and dude, right now in rap, ad libs are like the fucking thing. And James Brown was the original motherfucker doing the ad libs. You know what
Right.
I mean? Serious. You know what I mean? Like, uh,
Exactly.
you know,
And
like,
I think he was from Memphis. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I got a lot of respect for Young Dolph too. I think he's coming out of Memphis. I mean, he's rapping about real shit. He's rapping about shit that's happened to him and his friends, his family, you know that, and yeah. I mean, anytime someone comes out and just is real about shit, I'm always gonna get behind it. And you know,
Yeah. It's funny you mentioned Young Dolph because one of my producers, band play,
mhm.
we got a lot of music together. And I used to manage him. And we actually placed a song on the $100 mixtape with Nipsey Hussle. Drop Coops
Ooh.
on Nipsey Hussle's $100 mixtape called Crenshaw.
What?
I placed that. That was my biggest placement as a manager.
Oh
damn,
shit, that's
bro.
dope, dude.
But
That's fucking dope.
thank you.
Did
Thank
you
you,
ever
bro.
meet Nip, bro? Did you ever meet Nip?
Yes, I met Nipsey. That's how I was able to place the song.
What? Dude,
Damn.
that's fucking
Tell,
dope.
tell us
Holy
that
shit.
story, bro. Please
That's
tell us that
legendary.
story.
Nashville did that for me. It used to be a producer beat battle called Soundtrack Beat Battle. And all of these producers that I'm talking about, like I managed a couple and we just knew the other ones. I was rapping, so I'm like, everybody telling me about all the dope producers and they all cool with each other. So it was just easy to do that. But Bandplay actually just got signed to Paper Route Entertainment with Young Dolph.
Oh.
So, that's a big win for Nashville.
Yeah, and that's
He
Young
will
Dolph
be,
too, cause Young Dolph does his own record label. That's his record label, yeah?
yep, super
Yeah.
independent. He making millionaires out of
That's how
everybody
you
that he
do
works.
it.
So Bandplay is on the super come up, and he just dropped that project Dumb and Dumber. He did 18 out of the 20 beats on there.
Oh shit.
Damn,
Good lord.
that's
And he
crazy.
just went gold with the song Major by Young Dolph.
Oh yeah, yeah. Come on,
That's
Major.
my
Yeah,
producer,
everyone know that.
Bandplay.
Really?
That's my producer, bro.
What the
Bandplay did that. He
fuck,
went
bro?
gold. That's his first plat.
Holy shit. So your
That's
producer is the
crazy.
one that produced Major? Good
Yes.
lord.
That's
Yes,
That's
we
what's
got
up,
crazy.
man.
songs together. He did the first track on the Belly album that I just got
Let's
nominated
go.
album of the year for. Like,
You gotta let me know when y'all releasing your shit then. Jesus.
yeah. Yeah, I
Hell
got some
yeah.
shit. I got some shit with him.
That's awesome.
Man, can
So
you
I'm like, yeah, you can't help but hear my guys. They did a lot of shit, man.
like
Yeah, that's awesome.
did you meet Nip out there? I want to hear the Nipsey story, man.
Man, it was really at the beat battle. He was a judge.
Oh, okay. And that was
And
in Nashville?
yeah, it was in Nashville in like 2012, 2013, one of them years.
So he was doing a show in town or something?
No, he really got flew in to be a judge at the beat battle.
Damn, that's tight.
That's what's up.
So,
Fuck
and
yeah.
he didn't really have a big buzz in Nashville, but we know we was starting to come on to him. And that's really when I got onto his music too. Right before he came, I'm like, I heard of Nip, but I ain't listened to his latest project or nothing. So I did my homework, started listening to Keys to the City, and like the Marathon Continues was the mixtape.
Yeah.
Man, we go to the beat battle, and it's like 6 Cents versus Bandplay, and they going at it like round for round and shit. Like they like tying up, so they got to keep playing new beats. And I'm looking at the judges, And I'm like, Nipsey fucking with him. So I'm gonna go over here and nudge Nipsey on the shoulder. Like, bro, that's my producer. I manage him. We can get you some of these beats. So me and Nip get each other on Twitter. We start DMing each other like, yo, we gonna be here after the beat battle and shit. We gonna be here, and one thing led to another. We got, to communicating on Twitter. And after that, after this actual event, Bandplay didn't win. Somebody else ended up winning. But it was like we couldn't get up that night. So he sent me an email to his A&R where he accept beats too. And we just started sending beats. And it just went on from there. We didn't even know on mixtape. We found out when the shit came out, and we saw that he was doing the Proud to Pay campaign for $100. It sold out the first day, like live in LA. 1,000 copies sold out the first fucking day, and then he put it online, like it was on the mixtape album, mixtape sites, like live mixtapes. So we go on there, I'm listening to it. We get to track 10. Let the band play. I'm like, oh shit,
Damn. Yeah.
we did it,
Dude, that's tight, man.
bro. That
Dude.
feeling is a motherfucker. I
Yeah.
know I'm not rapping on it, but it just felt good
Yeah.
to be part of the process and to know that Jay-Z bought 100 copies of this fucking album. You know what
Hell
I'm
yeah.
saying?
10
Oh
racks,
shit,
bro.
that's what the
For
fuck
real.
is up. Fuck
Yeah,
yeah.
man. Dude, yeah, there's bangers through that whole shit too, dude. It's
Yeah, man.
yeah, it's good, man. I really like that cringe. Like I dig how he did the hidden songs at the end too, because that's something we always did on our CDs when we were before streaming was a real thing. It's like people were listening to the CD, so it's like the last song was listed, and then it would go quiet for a while, and then it's like usually that would be the end of the CD, but then another song would come on that wasn't listed, and it's
Yeah.
a hidden song. I'm like, man, that shit's tight, cause that
Also, I gotta say, like, random, but Moss, I can tell that on your raps, you got a dope voice. There's this song by Gangstar. It's called The Voice, and it's basically a song basically saying like, yeah, you're a rapper, you can have dope lyrics, but if you don't have a good voice on your tracks, you're not gonna make it. And yeah, I'm just
True.
thinking like, dude, you got a dope voice, man.
Appreciate that, man. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. People be like, you got your own style, you got your own voice, and then I hear a lot that I sound like 2 Chainz or Jay-Z, and I'm like,
No, it's different. It's different for
yeah,
sure.
it's different.
It's different for sure. It's
It's
dope.
definitely different, but I do. Those are the two comparisons I get, and I'm like, thank you, because they platinum and they rich as fuck off of this shit. So
yeah,
Yep.
I'm in
Yep.
the right direction.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. No, I just think too. I mean, like, there's people out here that got dope lyrics and that, but like straight up, if you don't have a dope voice, if you don't have something recordable, like no one's gonna want to listen to you. So.
That's true.
I agree. Man. Thanks for sharing the Nipsey Hussle story, bro. Like,
Yeah, that was dope. That
Rest
was
in
super
peace,
dope.
Nipsey, man. That was a
yeah,
legend.
Yeah.
man.
Fuck.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of his music. He was on the Coast to Coast mixtape series back in like '08, and he hosted one of them, and he had that Bullets Ain't Got No Names was like the first song on the mixtape, and it was like, holy shit, this shit is tight. And I was just impressed with him since then. And then what was the crisscross sample? It was like Hustle in the House or something. I remember hearing
Yeah.
that. It was on one of my record pool websites for DJing, and I was like, I'm gonna download it. I'm like, this is cool, but it was like a label single is what it sounded like. And then he left Epic and started doing his own thing. And I didn't tune back in until I moved to Portland. My bro Jackson, who owns Natural Wonders, he had the Marathon Continues, and the Marathon, like he would jam Nipsey in the car whenever we'd be driving somewhere smoking, and I was like, damn, man. I was
Yeah.
like, this shit is tight. I'm like, where'd you get this? He's like, I think it was livemixtapes.com is where he would
Yeah.
download from too. Yeah. Because I was always that piff, you know what I mean? Because that's where Coast to Coast would plug their stuff into mostly. But
Dat Piff, Dat Piff. That was the original like upload spot of
Yep.
up
yeah,
and coming mixtapes.
That's what my
Let's go.
first mixtape is. That's what my first shit is at. First two mixtapes definitely
yeah.
came out on that shit.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. All right, Moss. So we got a question from our tech guy Mitchell here. He's asking, which do you prefer, joints, blunts, pipes, or bongs?
I prefer high hemp wraps.
There you go.
They're
Heck yeah.
technically they look like blunts. They're brown,
But they're
but
not. They're not
they're
tobacco, right?
they're not tobacco, and they
Yep.
let you fucking taste the weed, even though they got a flavor to them. But they're real light. They're thin. Put enough weed in it, the weed will burn slow. So that's my preference right now. And if I can't
I'm
get
with that for sure.
papers. If I can't get that.
Yep. Man, I can't. I mean, I could do some blunts, but like, if I were to hit like take a rip or two off a backwood, I would be lit beyond like I wouldn't even be lit off cannabis anymore. I'd be like just fucking super high off the tobacco.
Yes, man, that shit is harsh and shit too.
It's so
It's
hard.
like
It's got me
smoking bunk weed. It's like
lightheaded
wrapping your
as
good
shit.
weed in bunk weed.
Yep.
like,
It's
what
like
the
when
fuck
you
are
smoke
doing?
mids and you get a headache.
Yep. Yep. Exactly.
okay, fellas. Okay, fellas. Okay, fellas.
John's like, I just got a backwood roll.
I'm like, man, I love my backwoods. Maybe it's because I used to chew. Actually, I chew again now.
Hey,
Just
don't get me wrong. I'll
the
enjoy a
nicotine.
hit or two off a backwood, but I can't do more than that. It just tears up
What?
my throat.
Like my
Yeah.
main argument is that the swishers or whatever that people like to smoke went through a way more chemical process
And I believe it
than
too. I believe it, bro. Don't get me wrong.
than a backwood leaf getting cured and rolled into a cigar. Like the
Yeah,
Swisher Baby
I
got grinded into pulp and then spread out into paper and then sprayed with
Yep.
bottled terps for flavor and then rolled around another cigar that's you can see it's like particle board. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, no, I definitely can't say anything because when I was younger, me and my homies go to blunt wrap was white owl, white grape
Me
white
too.
owls.
Yeah,
So like
those ones were
I'm sure
good,
that shit
bro.
was layered with artificial that whatever, but it tasted great and they rolled really well. So
Yeah, real easy
can't
to
hate on that. But yeah, white
yeah,
grape
Yeah,
white
they
owls, that
burn
was my
slow
shit.
as fuck too.
yeah,
Yup,
man.
exactly. Burn slower, tastes amazing. I mean, shit. At the time, we couldn't find anything better, so that was the go-to.
My white owls are burning kind of slow.
Whoa.
Who was that? It was Andre 3000 said that, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep. He was a
he's
stoner
the
and weed
man.
selling rapper.
Yeah, he's the fucking man, dude. I love
He
that.
was the original weed selling rapper.
Damn, yeah,
He
he
used to
was,
rap
dude.
about selling sex
The
way
Oski
back.
Woski, the Oski Woski. Hell yeah, man, for real. I remember Outkast had this song with Tash from The Licks. It was called Smoke Fest, and I think Be Real was on that song too. But the Andre 3000 verse on there was fucking dope, man. And it was
Yeah, Outkast is. I need to go back and listen again, man.
same. I'm gonna jam them at work tomorrow now that we're talking about it, man.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Well, shit, we're at 90 minutes, fellas. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about before we go?
I'm good.
I don't have
I'm
anything to
go-
ask. I think we covered a
Yeah.
lot of good bases.
Yeah, dude, I think that was a pretty dope interview, Moss. I looked at my phone to search shit that you were talking about, but usually I look at my phone at my cookie cutter questions just to direct, but this was dope because we just freestyled it, man. You
Yeah,
know?
Man.
we pretty much answered a
Yeah.
lot of the questions that we had in mind to ask, just through our conversation. So that was dope.
Yeah,
That's
man.
how it happened naturally, man. Shit happened
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
naturally.
Yeah,
Heck yeah.
man.
I
Well,
appreciate y'all having me on the show, man.
yeah, man. Can you plug your social media one time before I do my outro dance?
Yep, Moss the Beast, Mossda, the word beast all together. Everywhere online. And space it out when you look me up on Spotify, music, YouTube, all that shit. New music coming. Next single coming real soon. Might be titled 2020. Might be titled Flame Emojis. Might be titled Major. I'm not sure yet. I'm figuring out
Flame
with my
emojis.
A&R.
Flame emojis. Ugh, that
Three
sounds
Yeah.
different
good, bro.
single
Yeah.
options for the first single from LeBron Jordan Kobe. Look out for that Zion single too, because it's crazy. It's crazy. Just like that man jumped and he 285. He motivated me to get up there and leap because I'm about 300. You know what I'm saying? So
Word. No
Heck yeah.
doubt.
Just let us know so we can promote it,
Yeah,
It's
man.
that LeBron Jordan Kobe 2, right?
yes, sir. The
Yeah.
sequel.
Yeah, follow
Yeah.
that
Coming
guy on
soon.
IG. Anybody who's
Yep.
listening, like he be posting some cool shit on IG too.
Definitely. I think he said it was Moss the Beast, Mossdab on all
Yes, sir.
platforms. So follow
Yeah.
that up for sure.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Well, we appreciate you taking the time to talk with us, bro. Like it,
Definitely, man.
it means a lot. You've shared a lot of cool experience on the industry, in cannabis and in music, dude. And it's a nice change from just talking about weed only to ask some music
Yeah,
questions too.
definitely
You
is.
know, like
right,
man,
right.
It really is.
yeah.
Music and
So
weed go together, so
they,
it makes a
They
new
do.
experience.
They definitely do.
yeah, man. So we appreciate you coming out, and I'll send you the links once we get the Spotify and the YouTube links. I'll send them to you, dude. I'll
For
text them
sure.
to you, and then if you want to link up, bro, I'm out here Arcadia, man. So shoot me a text whenever, dude. I really want to hear some beats now. You know what I
I
mean?
gotta let you hear the shit before it come out and let you see what your favorites are.
No doubt. I got like 5 in the can for my new shit too, so I can show you my songs too that I got done, man. See what you
Yeah,
think,
yeah.
man. Cause yeah, cause I'm changing, so see what you think from your point of view as a rap artist, and be like, eh,
Yeah, I like
We
your other music too, besides the rap. So I feel like that's something you can do, bro.
okay,
But
thanks, man,
hell
thanks.
yeah.
yeah.
All right, folks. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and start my outro dance. This was the 15th episode of Concerned Dabs podcast. I was your host, KDM Kane. With me was my host, Will Terps. I got to give a shout out to my guys in production, Mitchell Wilson. And we also got to say happy birthday to Jesse Curry.
Oh
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
Jesse's
Like
birthday.
his
Let's
birthday
go. Happy
today.
birthday, Jesse.
Yeah.
Let's fucking go. I
Right.
Yeah.
didn't know that.
Man, for real, happy birthday, Jess. And thanks to Monster Beast too, man. It was a
Yeah.
good interview.
Thank you, man. This is a great
And
interview.
yeah,
Appreciate it.
this was a Main Node and Joseph Street Enterprise production.